Stampers, and today we're going to be talking about some fun things that you can do during the COVID-19 quarantine. So if you haven't already seen, Stampin' Up! Is offering a special COVID-19 fundraiser, and the thing I love about it is it's all digitals. And you can see I've printed mine up and already been cutting and using it, but some of the things here that are fun to look at are I'm smiling under this mask, just breathe but wear your mask. Some of you will love this one. I don't drink, but have another quarantini. I changed out of my night pajamas into my day pajamas. Wash your hands, let it just roll. The nice thing about this is it's only $12. It's a PDF digital download. You get items in color and in black and white, so you can print those off. So super inexpensive way to create some really fun things. I just did about 30 little 3x6 strips for all of my coworkers, and I'm dropping those off to the office later this week to go in their mailboxes for those who are still having to work. I work in the healthcare field, so we're still considered essential, and a lot of our crew are working in place. So today I thought I'd show you some of the fun ideas that I created with this package, this digital download. So the first thing I did was I created my own, just to be silly, paper mask. Now I'm not going to keep that on because you won't be able to hear me otherwise, but super fun. This is just some of our designer series paper from the Silhouette collection. Plain Whisper White cardstock. It uses tear tape and it uses our white crinkle seam binding ribbon. But it's just a super fun way. I'm thinking that maybe when this quarantine COVID thing goes away, we can all have a paper mask party and burn the masks or something to celebrate. So anyway, that was just a fun thing I made. And to go with it, I made a smaller version of the mask. And I just layered it up, cut my sayings from the COVID-19 digital download. And you can see, super fun, super easy card. Well, not super easy. This one is maybe a step up. And mainly that's because of the mask making. And it's just a matter of accordion pleating and sizing. So that was another project. This was just a quick little easy one. Let's just roll with it. This would be fun to drop off on someone's door, add a ribbon, and add a package of toilet paper. I know I've been seeing things out there with people tagging just an open single roll. Unless it's individually papered, that would not be my preference. I probably would want it to have a package because I'd want to make sure that whoever I'm giving that to will actually feel comfortable using it. But then again, it's all just for fun. So if you do give an open roll, some people will use it. This one I liked. You get some of these little healthcare workers, essential service people, and thank you for your service. There's thank you for your care, for your sacrifice, different things. This uses some of our designer series paper from the Follow Your Art collection. A lot of these papers, the designer series papers that I'm using tonight, are retiring at the end of this month. So I recommend that you order those now, and you'll find my store link below with information on how to get there and how to order these items. This one I love. This is one of my favorite sayings in there, and I love this is another piece from the Silhouette designer series paper, but it says, "So I finished Netflix." And inside, "Hope you're staying entertained during this time of social distancing." Again, super easy, just cutting my paper. This is the vertical fold, cutting the layer paper, and then wrapping the seam binding around it, and then the saying is just cut and layered on top of it. And again, this is Blueberry Bushel, one of our retiring in colors. So another thing that if you haven't got it, quickly order it. Some of the items, we've already had several items be selling out. This next project that I did is not pleated, so I wanted to make it a super easy way to replicate and duplicate this if I'm making several. And this is just Whisper White, the DSP from the Woven Threads, another one of our retiring papers, and then the layer of I'm Smiling Under This Face Mask. Again, we've got the two little ear loops made out of the same binding, and then I've put a large loop on there. And the reason I did that is so I could just slide this over, and I had this very large, wide Dove Bourbon Vanilla Dark Chocolate bar. I'm hoping the bourbon is probably cooked up because it's in chocolate making, but it was given to me. So I'm going to re-gift that and give it to someone who could really enjoy that. But it makes for a super cute tag, and you just size that ribbon down to fit whatever item you're going to put it around. And then the last project is really the first project that I made when I got this COVID-19 download, and it was really inspired by the book Wicked. And this book is something that I've been involved with some of my family members on a quarantine read. Corn read? I can't remember how they're pronouncing it, but it's been really fun to read because I love the musical. But that's kind of what inspired this card. And this card is the one I'm going to give you some tips and tricks about tonight. It's relatively really a super easy card. There's just a couple of things to know. So I'm going to move my book out of the way. And let me show this on the front version as well. But this card uses basic black, granny apple green, the pineapple punch, which is retiring. It's one of the in colors that is leaving. It uses our the sparkle glimmer paper, which I believe is also retiring, unfortunately. And then the Thinking of You During This Quarantine is out of the download, and the There's No Place Like Home for now is out of the download. Now I wanted to show you, get the black and white version, and then it also comes with these 3 color versions. And I mainly want to show you those so that you can see the cute little heart in the middle. But I, of course, for mine, wanted to use the black and white. So a couple of things about this card, what I've used is, this is the retiring, I'm so disappointed, especially now, probably because I'm a cancer survivor, our support ribbon framelits, those dies are retiring. But I've used the little tiny heart out of this framelit package to die cut that heart, which is a little larger, but I liked it. And I've just put some dimensionals on the back to pop it out. So that's how you're going to get that heart technique there, that little piece. Now, to get the red sparkly paper, glimmer paper, which I just thought reminded me of Dorothy's ruby red slippers, I'm taking the Real Red blend pens, and literally I'm just going to color a rectangle of the sparkly glimmer paper. Glimmer paper, sorry. So you just keep going over that. I didn't worry too much in the center if the edges were covered really well. I just wanted it to be nice and deep red on my edges because that's what's going to show. Then you're going to cut that down to size, and you're merely layering that No Place Like Home onto the glimmer paper. I will say you will not want snail for that probably. You're either going to want to use the mono liquid glue, or you're going to want to use the tear tape. The tear tape is what I chose to use for that. It was relatively easy that way. It doesn't require a lot, and you don't have to wait for it to dry. Now, if you can see it, it is also dimensional, so it's popping up off of there. The last little technique I want to show you is how to create that brick road. So if you have either the woven basket, woven coastal basket, I think is its name, I've already forgotten, but it's out of the mini. If you have that embossing folder, or you have one of our brick folders, you can use either of those to create your own yellow brick road. And you'll see how I've got these deeper colored indentations on that brick road. How I've done that is I've taken my crushed curry, and you're just going to ink that all over your folder. When you insert your paper in, and then when you run it through the Big Shot, which I'm not going to do for the sake of time, but when you run that through the Big Shot, you'll get a little bit of an idea because you can see how the brick patterns start to form on here. When you run it through the Big Shot, see how much nicer it is, and it's really nicely embedded and deeply grooved in there. And then all I did was just freehand, I'll just use my here as a pin. I just kind of did a freehand drawing, and I just made it narrow at the top and came down here wide. And I knew I wanted it to end in this square. Well, that pen did not work, clearly. Go back to use my blender. Just want you to be able to see. It's nothing fancy. You don't have to be an artist. You know, this could have a little bit more curve in it. But just draw it. If you are worried about that, draw it on scrap paper first, cut it out, and layer it just like a pattern. But that is how I ended up having this pattern. I knew I wanted my brick road to end here in the corners where they would be nice and squared off. Let me get rid of these. A few of these things, these clutter. Now for this card, I started out with just the Granny Apple card base. That's what I started with. And after I got it done, I decided I wanted a little bit more impact. So I layered it on a little bit larger size black. And I didn't cut anything down. So if I were remaking this, in order to send it in a standardized envelope, I would do my whole card base in black. I would layer a Granny Apple green inside so that you have somewhere that you can write and see it. And then I would do my front part like so. So you'd have that. And you would end up, you're going to end up with basically the same look, but now your card will fit in the standard envelope. Because if you were thinking this looked a little big, it does. But that is was my favorite theme from the COVID-19. I loved it. I'm a huge Wicked Musical fan person, and I love The Wizard of Oz anyway, and my kids all do. So it was something that just came to my mind. So I hope you enjoy that original card idea. And I will go back through and show these real quick one more time. And if you would like, I will also put in the box below how to link to get the COVID-19 download. All of that entire fee, the $12, does go to your choice of between 2 or 3 different recipients. Your entire $12 goes to that. So far, in the few days that it's been up, we've raised over $125,000. So Stampin' Up! Is really doing a wonderful job on donating back to the cause, to the COVID-19 relief funds, different ones throughout the world. So I just lay these all out here randomly. But I hope that you'll take this time and go ahead and download the COVID-19 Quarantine Digital Download by Stampin' Up! It's only $12 and it's super simple to use. The downloads are designed to be able to use with our dies, but I wanted to do mine with all flat cutting so that you can see how you can use those if you don't have any of the fancy dies. So enjoy.